What's up, Halo lovers? This is the fourth episode in an ongoing series by me, Exception 6, where I play through every single Halo campaign in chronological order while discussing news and speculation about Halo 4. And today's topic is going to be armor abilities and power items. Power items being like the bubble shield, the regenerator, the regenerator, bubble shield, power drain. God, I can't remember them. I haven't played Halo 3 in a while. And then armor abilities being like armor lock, sprint, jetpack, invisibility, to name a few of the big ones, and how they're going to play a role in Halo 4. So I know this is a fairly controversial topic amongst the forums and everything like that, and a lot of people don't want armor abilities back in Halo. They were not happy with the way they played out in Halo Reach, and it really showed because the community, the online population of Halo Reach really, died off after the first couple of months. People just didn't like the way it played, and I just got a challenge. And it did really change the fundamentals of the way Halo played in multiplayer, not so much campaign. The campaign was still very fun. People hailed it as being one of the best Halo campaigns. Goddamn suicide grunts. And that is very true. Everyone who is a fan of the Halo really enjoyed the campaign. But, armor abilities didn't really have that much of an effect competitively in campaign, because obviously campaign is not really a competition unless, of course, you're playing scoring on and everything like that with other players. But from a competitive multiplayer standpoint, Halo Reach let down a lot of fans because, well, for starters, Halo multiplayer was based, is based around the fact that if you start with a weapon, everybody starts with the same weapon, and you need to get an advantage somehow. Whether that's a positioning advantage, getting the high ground is an example, or whether that's a weapon or power upgrade to get an advantage. That is typically how the games were won and controlled, and a winning team could very easily win if they controlled the power weapons or the power items or overshield or invisibility and everything like that. Whereas in Halo Reach, controlling the high ground became almost non-existent due to jetpacks and god damn. And controlling the high ground was pretty much taken out of the game due to jetpacks, because you could literally just jetpack up, throw a grenade, DMR somebody in the face, even if they had like the rocket launcher. It was seemingly very different than the way Halo 3 and Halo 2 and Halo 1 played out. So a lot of people very unhappy. And from a multiplayer perspective, so 343 has some big shoes to fill. They pretty much have to correct Bungie's mistake, I guess you could call it. The community is kind of torn on this. Not to say that armor abilities are bad and the gameplay isn't fun, it's just not the Halo everybody once knew and loved. So what I think 343 is most likely going to do is going to be a hybrid of Halo 3 and Halo Reach, where we're going to see you spawn with nothing but your starting weapons and your standard stuff, no armor abilities, no power items or anything like that. Equipment, no power equipment or anything like that. And that's probably the way they're going to go with it. And then you have to get your weapons or equipment to get an advantage, you know. And now that we've seen the jetpack and sprint and everything like that, it's probably going to make a return, but not the way that we know it in Halo Reach. It's going to make a return as armor upgrades that you have to pick up while playing in the map. It's kind of strange to say it, but MLG did kind of do something right with getting, you know, jetpack and such as a power up on levels. You know, you spawn with absolutely nothing because it played the way Halo 3 played, and it's obvious now that Reach is out. People like the way Halo 3 and Halo 2 played a lot more than they did Reach, and 343 is obviously going to change that multiplayer wise. Now, my blog is typically all about campaign and the story and everything like that, so where do armor abilities and power-ups and equipment fall into place? That's hard to say because campaign is so different than multiplayer. You know, if they were to make campaign the way it was in Halo Reach, where Master Chief now has armor abilities, he can kind of exchange them as he goes, I don't think people would complain very much. I don't think people would be angry, you know, if Master Chief started off with a standard sprint and then, depending on his situation, like in Reach, you needed the jetpack, or you could get armor lock if you were fighting vehicles or anything like that. I honestly don't think the community will scorn 343 for doing something like that. But you know, to completely toss out the bubble shield and everything like that, a lot of people really missed it. I missed the bubble shield. You know, it made the game real fun, multiplayer and campaign. You know, to watch, to know that someone had a power weapon, an enemy had a power weapon, whether it was multiplayer or campaign, and you ran right at them like a badass, and they were just like, this guy's an idiot, he's gonna get killed by my rocket launcher, and right as he jumped in the air to get a little bit of a vantage point to shoot you with the rocket, you pop down that bubble shield and he blew himself to smithereens. You know, it was a great, it just made the game dynamic in a way that no, like, armor lock couldn't even replace. Armor lock really did, I mean, bubble shield slowed down gameplay a lot, but you know, you could walk into a bubble shield and take down your enemy with a shotgun if you had one, whereas armor lock, you know, you just kind of sit there and wait for this guy to get out of it. So excuse me, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if 343 got rid of armor lock completely. I honestly would not be surprised one little bit. It has been hated by the community. They got rid of it with the title update. They got rid of it, I have absolutely no ammo. They got rid of it with the title update in a lot of the game types. They're probably going to continue to do so because people complain about it all the time. You know, it does make certain situations fun and different, but for the most part it slows down the gameplay in a way that Halo should never really have been slowed down. And one of the things that I was surprised about is that Bungie themselves, you know, it wasn't a Master Chief story for Halo Reach. You know, it didn't revolve around the Chief in this game, so I understand that it wasn't there. But, you know, to do a trailer like they did for the launch trailer where Chief uses the bubble shield in the CGI trailer for Halo 3, and to make such an epic trailer and have it be a part of the world, and then to just get rid of it completely is just, you know, it just seems kind of wrong. And I really hope that they bring it back. I honestly think that they will, but you know, I could be wrong. Maybe they'll just do a different version of it, which wouldn't be a bad thing either, if it was just if it was slightly different for whatever, somehow. What else should I talk about? Yeah, so I mean, in multiplayer, they're probably going to do like a hybrid, like I said before, where You know, you spawn with absolutely nothing. You go forward. You find your power-ups, your equipment to get the advantage on your enemies and everything like that. And that's how it's probably going to play out. And this video, like I said, this is a hard topic to talk. I'm not sure if I said it this time, but this is a hard topic to talk about because we really don't have any real information about Halo 4 and what they're going to do with armor abilities, other than the Chief jetpacking away in the trailer, and that, if that gives us any idea, it means that he will at least be using the jetpack in zero gravity areas. Who knows how many zero gravity areas we're going to be playing in, but if anything, there will be one armor ability, and that's going to be the jetpack. But it may not be like the jetpack we know of from Reach, where you can just use it whenever you want. You know, it's probably going to be level restricted to zero gravity levels, like I said. And then, you know, other armor abilities, it's probably going to be a weird hybrid, and I really hope that they do it well. And I know that 343 is really dedicated to Halo, and I really hope that they pull through. But what I'm talking about is really hard for me to think about, like a weird hybrid where you could pick up a jetpack and you could fly around, but then and that's like an armor ability, but then you could walk over and pick up a bubble shield and, you know, throw that to the ground, and that's like equipment. So a combination like that is kind of strange. Bungie did it in Halo 3, where you had the equipment like the bubble shield, power drain, and everything like that, and then you could pick up the overshield or the invisibility also. So that was like a hybrid for that Bungie did, and I really hope that they do it like something like that for Halo 4, and I would be very surprised if they didn't. So this is like I said, it's a hard topic to really talk about, but I think that they're going to keep the armor abilities in the way that they were in Reach for Chief, but they're going to also bring back equipment like the bubble shield and everything like that, and probably limit the amount of armor abilities that there are in the campaign, like armor lock and everything like that. So I think that they're probably going to do campaign-wise like a hybrid. I'm getting very repetitive right now, but I really want to get that point across, because, and this is not what I hope is going to happen. This is what I honestly think is what they're going to do to try and please both parties and bring back that competitive feel that the Halo games had originally. And I think my video is coming to an end here. I've been recording for 13 minutes. Yep, about 14 minutes, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. This one was kind of a subpar commentary, I have to be honest. This was a hard topic to talk about. But I mean, to reiterate what I hope that what I think that 343 is gonna do is that I hope that they bring the best of both worlds from Halo 3 and Halo Reach together, and bring a multiplayer experience that everyone can love, bringing back that competitive edge that Halo 3 and Halo 2 had, where you had to rush to get the advantage, like bubble shield and everything like that, while including aspects of those advantages from Halo Reach, like the jetpack and everything like that. And I know a lot of people hate the jetpack, but I don't really have anything against it, other than the fact that you could use it to take down, that you could spawn with it and basically claim the high ground very easily without any kind of formidable opponent, unless they also had a jetpack or they had a weapon that they could take you out in the air. Alrighty guys, thanks a lot. Look out for my future videos.
I could send you to the brig for interfering with my work.
Maybe you'd like to join her.
I'm sorry?
We're currently...